Right, we've been given these values of x and the corresponding values of y, and we're told that y is inversely proportional to the square of x. We have to find an equation for y in terms of x, and the positive value of x and y is 16. Okay, standard exam question. So, look at this sentence here. Y is inversely proportional to the square of x. We need to write down what that means in maths, okay? So, y is inversely proportional. Well, proportional, so we need a proportional sign. Y is proportional to the square of x, but inversely proportional, which means 1 over the square of x, okay? If something is inversely proportional to something, it means 1 over that something, okay? Y is inversely proportional to x squared. That means y is proportional to 1 over x squared. So you get this a lot, okay? You need to be able to, as soon as you see that, write that down. If it said y is proportional to the square of x, okay? Y is proportional to the square of x would mean y is proportional to x squared. That's y is proportional to the square of x, okay? But it said inversely proportional, and therefore, can you hear my dog yipping outside? Nearly finished, Benny. Okay. So, my dog's called Benny. Right, good. So, that means that. So, right, to get the equation for y in terms of x, well, first thing to do is write that down. Then, as soon as you've got that, you should immediately write this down. If something is proportional to something, you can say, therefore, that something equals some constant, call it k, times that thing. Okay? So as soon as you've got that, immediately write that down. Okay? Just go over that one more time. If something is proportional to something, that means that something equals some constant times the other thing. Okay? So if that, therefore that, straight away. Good. Right, I'll just neaten that up. Therefore y equals k times 1 is just k, it's just k over x squared. Okay? Once you've got to this stage, you then pick a convenient value of x and y and sub that in to work out what k is. Okay? So, what's a good choice of x here? A good choice is 1, because 1 squared, x squared is just 1, okay? And y is 9. So, let's keep the numbers small and easy. Let's do that. So what we do, we choose x equals 1. And therefore, when x is 1, y is 9. Okay? So y is 9. So therefore, y is 9. 9 equals k. We're trying to find k over x squared. X squared is 1, which is 1. 1 squared is 1. Okay? So, k divided by 1 is just k, so therefore we found k, k is 9. Right? So, we put that back into here, and we've got our equation for y in terms of x. Okay? So therefore, y equals k is 9, 9 over x squared. That's it. That's the answer to part A. So it's a standard procedure, classic exam question, okay? They tell you that something is inversely proportional to something else, so you write that down immediately. And once you write that down, you write that down immediately. And then you choose convenient values of x and y, sub in to find k, and then you've got your answer, okay? Standard procedure. Right. The positive value of x when y is 16. Well, now we've got the equation, we can do part B. They're telling you that y is 16. So, put 16 into here. We get 16 as y equals 9 over x squared. Okay? We've got to find the positive value of x. Let's just find x, okay? Don't worry about the positive value thing quite yet. So rearrange that to get x squared. So we get, bring the x squared up here, the 16 down there. In other words, multiply both sides by x squared and divide both sides by 16. And we get x squared equals 9 over 16. Okay? So, therefore, x is, well, it's the square root of 9 over 16, okay? And when you take the square root of a fraction, you take the square root of the top and of the bottom. So square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Whenever you take the square root, there are two solutions, okay? It's actually plus or minus 3/4, or if you like, 3/4 and minus 3/4, because 3/4 times 3/4 is 9 over 16, but also minus 3/4 times minus 3/4 is also 9 over 16, because a minus times a minus is a plus. So that's why there's always two solutions whenever you take the square root. But this particular, so that's a general answer, okay? This particular question is asking for only the positive value, which means if you write that down and leave it there, you may not get full marks. You probably won't. It just wants the positive value. So the positive value is just plus the plus one, that one, 3/4. Okay, there you go. That is how it's done. Like I say, standard exam question. Remember this procedure off by heart. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button, and it would be a massive help if you could subscribe. It would also be amazing if you could support me on Patreon. All the papers and everything are on my website, drgem.com, and I'm also on social media. Thank you.